Here we go. Oh, we
There we
are
go.
live. You got the message there, Jeremy?
Got it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Manifesting Monday, Monday Spotlight. I am here with Jeremy Bowman of Perfect Wedding Guide. And Jeremy is actually out of the country right now. And so we have been on talking, everything has been running smoothly. And sometimes we have a little bit of a delay. So if that happens, you guys, be patient. Go back in the recording. You're going to want to hear what Jeremy has to offer. And, I only spotlight people that I believe in, that, I respect, I love and respect. And Jeremy is one of those people. And, we were talking about, earlier, we were talking about the other day about Pooja, and she put a message on there. She wasn't sure if she missed the live stream, so I see the people are jumping on now. So hi, Pooja. Want to say hi to Pooja? She's like, did I miss it? I was telling Jeremy how much I love Pooja. She's fantastic. I have a girl math for Pooja. So let's get started. Everyone, Jeremy Bowman is a perfect wedding guide, and Jeremy and I met a little over a year ago now at the Proctor Gallagher. We're both Proctor Gallagher consultants, and we met at one of the trainings in Toronto, September of 2019. And we ended up in a group together. I guess we just sat together. I can't remember how we just sat together, and then all of us just decided to chat and become accountability for each other that week. And so it was pretty cool. I think I posted a picture, at least a video, where I was in the roof where we had gone up after having coffee, after chatting. You showed me this beautiful place at the hotel with these the gardens on the top of the hotel, and other people were there. And so Jeremy and I have become friends. We've talked, and I always talk to everybody about I'm always in business. I love what I do. And Jeremy does something a little bit different and intertwines consulting as well in his business. So we're talking business, we're talking personal. And I put the information here of how to get a hold of Jeremy, how to reach him. You even put on there your personal Facebook
Absolutely.
profile, right? Like, this is the kind of guy you want on your side. I mean, Jeremy's my friend, and we always talk business as well. Like, you want to take advice only from people who are doing and taking action. So that is my introduction to Jeremy, how we know each other. And then also a little side note, you see there, he does Perfect Wedding Guide, and he had talked about you can marry people, right, Jeremy?
I can.
What is the title for people who don't know? Officiant.
Yeah.
Officiant.
But just to be clear, anybody can become an officiant. You just go online, answer like 3 questions. I think it's called the Universal Church. It's a non-denominational. And I just thought with my industry, it might be able, like, I can save the day at some point if I need to.
But it's official. It is official, right? You can actually marry.
It's much easier than people think. So,
right.
Yeah. So if we back up though, the only part of the story that you may or may not know is that the rooftop that you were talking about in Toronto, I actually got locked out on.
I remember you telling me.
I got locked out on the roof, and I wasn't sure. It was pretty tall, but after a while, I figured out how to get down. So, life experiences. There's nothing you can do to replace that.
Did you ever make that mistake? Here's Bubba. Everyone, you say hi to Bubba. He wants to be part of the interview as well. Everyone knows my dog is totally unloved. Did you make that mistake again that week, Jeremy?
No. It's funny. Sometimes you got to touch the hot stove twice, but you don't have to get locked on a rooftop twice. So,
right. You did tell me. So when we went up there, you told me that. I was like, oh, okay, we're not getting locked up here. So I put a little sneaky stuff. I can't remember. Maybe I locked the door. I did it so that we could go in and out if we had to. But there was like 2 other entrances here. And we got a thumbs up. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining. So, Jeremy, why don't you tell everybody about what you do, about Perfect Wedding Guide, and how this can help?
Yeah. I'll just kind of give a brief overview of the story. So about 10 years ago, give or take a month or two, I bought the Perfect Wedding Guide St. Louis franchise. And we've since, there's a couple other people that do the same thing, but over time we just perfected our craft, and St. Louis became like a model market in the country. We've done shows at most of the casinos, Ballpark Village down. So, clients of ours include people like Anheuser-Busch, the St. Louis Cardinals. So we've got great clients. It's a great industry. There's so many good people. And we kind of decided, like, there's always a little bit more room for growth, but we really wanted some explosive growth. So then we went on and we purchased the Charlotte market, and then we moved to Delaware and then Atlanta. And we didn't have as much time to get the traction there, but in November of 2019, I actually had the opportunity to buy all of Perfect Wedding Guide. So we bought the entire company. It came with this, a list of licensees in several different markets. So we just had like overnight growth. And but then we had this little flu kind of catch up with us. So that has made it really interesting. It depends who you talk to. Some people are like, they're so negative about it. Others are positive, which really I need to backtrack. So I forgot like a major component of the story. I would say around the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, I actually bumped into somebody who was a coach and for the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And after one conversation, I actually just said, yeah, that seems, because you have those ceilings, I kind of I think everybody, you feel like a flea in the jar. Like, the lid comes off, but you just never, because that's your ceiling. You just don't know what you don't know. And my coach really helped me to just accept myself that I could do that, because now we're going from one market to 4, and now we're talking about 100+ markets. So I'm like, there's no school you go to run a Perfect Wedding Guide publication. It just is what it is. So really, she helped change my mindset so much that when I actually bought the entire thing, it was just a smooth, natural transition. I didn't really have all of those hang-ups, how am I going to do it? I mean, she really coached me through that. Just don't worry about all the little baby steps. Just do it. And whatever needs to come to you is going to come to you. She really taught the law of attraction, and it was just a very easy thing. And actually since then, I've never gone back. I look back at how I used to be so like self-limiting and just about anything. I would immediately go to, why is that not going to work? So
well, any person who's successful, you have to have the right mindset. You have to take risks.
Absolutely. So
yeah. So tell us then. Yeah, I love that. I mean, being a consultant and having the help and the coaches now, I mean, I don't look back, and I don't have to. I'm just looking forward, learning from all the experiences, and then just getting better and better and making it happen. So tell us, you said that you have shows, you go to casinos, you have some pretty big names. What happens in the shows? Like, how does it actually work?
yeah, so now if we fast forward, so what we do now is we have approximately, give or take, the 3rd largest wedding planning resource on the internet in the United States. So essentially, you've got people getting engaged all the time, and it's a little bit different business model than a lot of others, because a lot of other things, if we talk about vehicles, I'm a Ford guy, I'm a Chevy guy, and you build brand loyalty, and you always go back. People, we can use terrible example like McDonald's. There's people always go. There's this, but if we talk about exceptions, just the norm is, a couple typically is about a 27-year-old female, 29, 30-year-old male. And that's what we kind of use as that's our demographic. For most of them, this is their first time getting married. And it's a huge investment. So what do you do? Like, we're going to get married. Oh my God, we need a cake. Where do you get a wedding cake? We need a photographer. Well, who's a good photographer? I don't know. Do we need a planner? Do we need a day of planner? What about a venue? What do dresses cost? So what we do is we keep the people that provide those services in the spotlight. So it's one easy resource for all of these engaged couples to go and find it. So we're overloaded digitally these days. So if you go back some years, I won't bore you with statistics, but you had to see something 2 times and then 3 times and 7. It takes about 13 points of contact now before you even remember anything, because you're just inundated, with digital and people on their phone, and it's just nonsense all the time. So we do the online, and I mean, of course, we collect data. And this allows all of these vendors to start reaching out to these couples, and I mean, of course, they can opt out and all that good jazz. But then we put together the shows. Well, by that point, the people have kind of made some bit of a relationship with whatever they're looking for, because it's a big wheel that just keeps going and keeps going. I'm getting married next week. I just got engaged last week. So we keep the vendors at the shows. So let's take a random thing. Let's take a photo booth. Well, if you just got engaged last week, you probably don't care about a photo booth right now, right? But you've got the magazine, the printed magazine in your hand. You're flipping through. You're seeing the advertisements. Then you check them out online. You get an email, and then as you get later in the engagement, you're like, I need a photo booth. Well, by this point, there you are. It's a very captive and a very niche market. So then they go to the shows, and that's where most of the vendors will actually meet the people, write the contracts, and go ahead and put all that in place. So really, that's what we do. In various markets, we print things. Some are just digital. Our next show is actually at Gaylord Opera. Oh, I'm sorry, it's in St. Louis at the Hyatt in November the 23rd, and then we've got one at Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, January, I think, 24th. But as the world comes back from COVID, we've actually licensed out over 50 markets. So once we're back in show production, we should actually be the largest show producer in the country.
So you help people, and weddings are a big deal. People spend so much money, and it's a huge investment, like you were saying, and a big day. And so you bring great vendors, to those people, because I mean, there's so many big decisions to make, and there's a lot of pressure. I mean, and it becomes a really big deal. So you help to bring those vendors to the people who are looking to have the perfect wedding.
Absolutely. And one of my biggest pieces of advice to people, get a planner. Don't have your sister plan the wedding. Like, get a planner. In the big scheme of things, it's like the smallest investment you'll make ever. Your planner's going to know who you should probably use, and also maybe who you shouldn't. Because the last thing you want is, where's the DJ? Well, you don't need that in your wedding day. And that's why, work with good people. Spend a couple extra dollars, because hopefully you're only going to get married once. So make that a great day. Don't go and find the bargain, photographer that doesn't actually have the right equipment. I mean, I know of stories where it's happened, where somebody got the cheap photographer, except they didn't put a SD card and then have any wedding pictures. You can't fix that. Spend a few dollars and take out wedding insurance. So that way, when the day happens, it's a great day. Everything goes smooth. And the most thing with the planner is be a guest. Be a guest. Don't make your family have to run around and worry about all that nonsense. So that's
enjoy your day and
invest. Your day.
I mean, you really want quality, and I always talk about this anyway, and you can apply this with anybody in your life, even friends, relationships, but with work, and for a special day like that, invest and you get quality work. It's so worth it. So let's do a little bit of the flip side here, and then we're already just have a few minutes left here in the spotlight. What about for people, vendors? What about someone, I know the best photographer in town. I know actually a few photographers or bakers, people who bake. So what about that side? Do you offer something in there and that side as well?
Yeah. So I mean, our business is actually taken care of by vendors. I mean, we're in advertising clearly, so vendors pay to be part of that. But it's a very nominal investment for what you get in return. The easiest way is our wedding site is perfectweddingguide.com. You can shorten it pwg.com. I'll take you right to the same place. There's contact forms, this and that, easy to find info. And then somebody locally will reach out to you and answer any questions you've got. I mean, it's a pretty simple process. So we try to make it seamless. I think maybe December, January, I'm actually going to start to tour the country, just city to city, and actually put on training seminars for vendors. Same thing. A lot of people get into the industry, or even if they've been in the industry is changing. So You take, I know photographers are 30, 40 years in the industry. They're great photographers, but you don't run advertisements in the newspaper anymore to find couples, right? We've probably all had a MySpace page, but if you don't stay up with the times, you're going to get left behind. So, I mean, we do a tremendous amount with Facebook because it's a great tool to find people that are very specific that, they've been engaged for a month, 3 months, 6 months. I mean, all of the little demographics they've got there is great. But if you don't know how to use that as a vendor, you're likely just throwing money out the window. So we try to train about that. Like, what are people looking for? And then some of the more interesting things that I have nothing to do with are like some of the trends. So I'm only one person. I can only do so much. But so we have people that do that, like keep up and stuff and give tips and this and that, and like just a lot of different things. Like how do you fit in social? How do all of these different little things that really set you apart. And top of mind is the big thing. So,
Yes,
again,
you help both sides. You help the couple have the perfect wedding, and you help vendors to help with the perfect wedding and build their business as well. I love it. I mean, that's exactly. So tell us again. So you have a couple of shows coming up. You have one on November 23rd, and is that one in St. Louis?
That was in St. Louis. That was at the Downtown Hyatt. Big, beautiful. You can go on the rooftop, overlook the arch. Beautiful venue. And then, of course, Gaylord Opryland, we all know in Nashville. It's huge. It's beautiful. Once was the largest hotel in the world.
Love Asheville. I used to go there quite often. My mom lived in Weaverville, which is right next there.
Okay.
So, oh, can you hear that feedback a little bit there? Let me back up. One thing, you guys, that I only promote people that I believe in. And, Jeremy talked about also helping on the flip side with the vendors. And he doesn't do all of the training, just like Henry Ford. He didn't know all of the mundane, all of the information. He knew where to get it. He knew who to point you to or where to get the information. And so that's what I see Jeremy doing. He's only one person. And just like me, you need to find the resources, and he has a lot of resources. So that's what we have today. Here, spotlighting Jeremy Bowman.
So the thing with coaching is a lot like having meals or taking a shower. You don't just do it and you're done. It's something you have to do all the time. And honestly, when I get in a spot, maybe I can tell my mindset's off a little bit. I call Teresa. So she does a phenomenal job. I can't say enough good about her. I mean that like from the bottom of my heart. So she's always spot on. She'll help you clear your mind and figure out what you need to do to make that big leap. So I appreciate everything you do. You're phenomenal.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you too, friend. And that's not why we're here, but I do appreciate you giving me that shout out. I'm here for you. Everyone, you guys know that I'm here. I'm always on the other side. So, Jeremy, why don't you point everyone? I put here the links to get to you, but why don't you tell everybody how to get a hold of you? What's the best way?
The best way. So I don't know if my name is there somewhere. You're welcome to reach out directly. My email is my name. It's jeremy.bowman@pwg.com. And that goes straight to me. I don't have anybody check that for me. And if you've got questions, if you've got anything, like reach out. If you've got a crazy idea that you're like, man, I want to do this, but I have no idea how to start. I might not know how, but I can probably point you to somebody who could. So if you decide you want to go to Las Vegas and jump out of an airplane and get married and land in the Grand Canyon and have a candlelight dinner, like I can't do that. You shouldn't let me do that for you. But like I know somebody who could actually make that happen. So just so many different crazy things. There's nothing crazy. We just haven't figured out how to do it yet. So, but seriously, like if anybody's got anything, reach out. And I just, like one of the fundamental things in our business that we love to do is if you just do what you got to do, money comes. I don't make most of my decisions based on money. So my favorite thing is to sit down with an aspiring photographer that's like, and our questions are simple. I mean, we just ask like, how many weddings did you shoot last year? It doesn't matter the number. And I just ask them how many they want to do this year. And my favorite thing is not when they're like, well, I want to do it so I can make an extra 10 grand. My favorite is when it's something, it doesn't matter what it is, but I want to do an extra 3 weddings because I really want to take my family to Disneyland. like that to me is where I connect with them. Like, then this is how we're going to do it. And the people that come at it from that angle, they do so well. They always book. They always get people because they put out such good energy to the others. Like you don't hear bridezillas from these people. They bring these great sweet people in their life. And I mean, I can think of personal examples where they're just all of their brides like follow them forever and they're best friends. Like, so that's kind of how we operate everything we do. And we try to just be a one-stop shop with everything. So
I love it. It's all about spirit and enthusiasm. I mean, really energizing people and going for your goals. Forget about the how. Everything comes to you when you decide, and you have, like Napoleon Hill would say, I always have my book right here, Burning Desire. But when you have a really big reason, you want to take your family on vacation, or you want that dream car, or this is your dream, or, some people they're passionate about shooting, taking pictures, it's their thing. So you get to get paid for doing something you love every day. I know what that's like. And I get up at 4 a.m. and I'm ready. Like, yes, I get to get up, So thank you, Jeremy. And I believe that I put your email on there. So I'll go back and review and make sure that I do have the email, the jeremy.bowman.pwg.com.
Yeah, I'll shoot. And you're welcome to share my phone number. So.
Okay. Well, for those of you who want his phone number, let's talk first, because let's make sure. Yeah. So that's But anyway, but if you want, I can give that out as well. Actually, I can put that on there. If you do want me to put it, I'll put it in the information. Is that?
Throw it in there. So
okay.
I'm more interested in talking to people that have ideas and things. If we talk about advertising and I have people that take care of that. I don't get involved in that. But like, if you've got something, if you got like a great idea, you want to brainstorm about something or whatnot, like I'm your guy for that. So I love that.
I will put that in there, brainstorming. And then what about vendors? Do they go directly?
They can reach out. Just know that if you reach out as a vendor for like advertising in a particular market, that don't get your feelings hurt when I pass you to somebody else who's maybe in that market.
Right. So well, that's not what you do. So, and then also for the people who are getting married, would they contact you directly, or would they also go through Perfect Wedding Guide?
The people, they ought to just go to the website, fill out a form, register to win something. We're always giving nonsense away too, trips. We used to give away lots of trips to the Caribbean, but we're kind of putting that till next year because not many people are traveling these days. So actually, as you said, I'm out of the country right now. I'm actually at Del Carmen, and I'm starting to do some work with the tourism department. So as the world opens up, like this is one of the #1 destination spots. So it's like, how do we help these couples that are going to come down here, like make sure they really have a good experience? Just as it opens, I mean, as you walk down the beach, there's some beaches that there's only 3 or 4 hotels open, and the rest of the world is just closed. So what you don't want to do is to book one of those closed resorts, or so we try to work with them so that the things we put out in the world are, like, come have a great time. I encourage everybody to come down. It's beautiful. The weather's wonderful. The only bad thing we've experienced is a little hurricane blew through, and as you can tell, the internet's a little choppy. So, but
the time of the year. So. Must be the time of the year, I suppose. When you had said you give away nonsense, but you guys, giving away trips to the Caribbean, I'm going to say that is not nonsense. And then you broke up a little bit for me. Where exactly are you in Mexico?
I'm in Playa del Carmen. So just south of Cancun, and I can look from the beach and see the island of Cozumel. So it's an easy flight in, easy flight out. Don't believe the news. I have never once felt unsafe down here. It's beautiful. The people are kind. They're warm. It's a great place. It's paradise on earth. And again, but maybe that's because I've just met tons of nice people here. But it's kind of hard to argue about the beach. I mean, you can't really argue that the turquoise water is beautiful. So.
Well, okay. Well, everyone, you know how to get a hold of Jeremy, and then you big thinkers with ideas. Jeremy's also a consultant, and we talk coaching all the time, so I'll put his phone number up there for serious ideas, people who want to talk serious ideas. Otherwise, for the people who are planning weddings and vendors, you'll go to the Perfect Wedding Guide information that I have here in the information for you. So, Jeremy, you stay on. I'm going to go ahead and end our live. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.